If you've been following the recent controversy surrounding MrBeast, you'll know that the situation has escalated dramatically, and it's not just a few minor issues that are being called out. This all started when Dogpark 404, a former employee of MrBeast, released a video that's now gained over 10 million views, bringing to light some serious allegations against the YouTube giant. The first video caused a huge stir in the YouTube community, but Dogpark didn't stop there. He now released a follow-up video titled "I Worked for MrBeast, He's a Sociopath," where even more severe allegations are being exposed. This time, the claims are not just about MrBeast's work environment, but also dive into the ethics of his content creation and his treatment of employees. In this video, one of the early points of drama is about pay discrimination. Jake Wedd, the interviewee, revealed that he and another writer who happened to be black were both doing the same job, but Jake, as the white person, was getting paid more. This completely shocked Jake, especially considering that his colleague had more responsibilities, including being a parent.
There was another writer there, older comic, black guy, he had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child, we're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy, why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up.
When Jake and another writer decided to ask for a raise, the response from MrBeast's team was swift and brutal. Rather than negotiating or even discussing the possibility of a raise, they were both fired the next day and handed severance checks. This move not only ended their employment, but also highlighted how little value was placed on their contributions, regardless of their circumstances or personal needs. Jake goes on to talk about MrBeast's charitable acts, which are often featured prominently in his videos. According to Jake, these acts of generosity are not as good as they may appear. Instead, they are carefully calculated moves designed to enhance MrBeast's public image and protect him from public criticism. The logic is really simple. Look at it this way: if he's giving away a large sum of money or helping people in need, it becomes much harder for anyone to criticize him or accuse him of doing wrong. This perspective casts a shadow over the numerous videos where MrBeast is seen handing out money or gifts, as it suggests that his acts are more than about gaining favor and less about genuine kindness. Jake also mentions that when he expressed discomfort about how these charitable acts were being used for content, his role in the videos started to diminish. He was supposed to be a regular on the channel, alongside MrBeast's close friends like Chris and Chandler, but after voicing his concerns, he found himself being pushed out of the spotlight. To be honest, this kind of just shows that anyone who doesn't fully align with MrBeast's vision is just quickly removed from the team. This then brings us to the next part of the video, the solitary confinement challenge, a nightmare experience for Jake. Perhaps the most disturbing part of the video is Jake's account on his experience in solitary confinement challenge that was planned to be a major video on MrBeast's channel. So the way that this video would go is that Jake would stay in solitary confinement for a set number of days, with various comforts such as a hot tub and an ice cream truck being gradually removed. The challenge was pitched to him as being relatively easy for like the first 25 days, with only the first few days being generally tough. However, this was a complete lie, and I mean, take a listen to what he has to say about this.
It was a terrible facility. I mean, he was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. If there's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy, mildew, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. They weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. One of the things was you got to take away your clocks. You didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there.
I mean, even after reviewing the whole video, I'm just in shock. I mean, this poor guy describing the conditions as being borderline inhumane. The set has been freshly painted, meaning that he was breathing in cancerous fumes the whole entire time. There was a hot tub, but it wasn't connected to any filtration system, so it quickly became disgusting and unusable. The showers were cold and there was no way to regulate the temperature. I mean, come on, the lights were not even ever turned off. They treated him like a mouse in a cage. 24/7 time-lapse footage, that's just weird. This just highlights the length that the production was willing to go for the sake of a shot, even at the expense of someone's well-being. At this point in the video, we could definitely see the emotional and mental toll. The constant stress and lack of sleep took a severe toll on Jake's mental health. He describes how he reached a breaking point, unable to continue with the challenge. This experience was so traumatic for Jake that during the interview with Dogpark, Jake became visibly emotional and broke down in tears. This display of emotion shows just how damaging the experience was and raises some serious questions about the ethics of putting people through such extreme conditions for the sake of a YouTube video. Despite having to leave the challenge due to conditions, Jake was only compensated for the time he actually participated. The fact that he had to leave because the conditions were so out of control didn't seem to factor into the decision. Jake then claims that this left him feeling exploited and undervalued, adding to the emotional and psychological damage that he'd already suffered. So let's shift our viewpoint and look at MrBeast's reaction. Was it cold or was it calculated? After the challenge, Jake also shared some details of a conversation that he had with MrBeast. Jake describes MrBeast's reaction as cold and definitely rehearsed, comparing him to a villain from a movie. According to Jake, MrBeast did the fake sympathy routine, pretending to care about Jake's mental health while making it clear that what he really cared about was avoiding a lawsuit. Jake recalls MrBeast almost saying, "We don't want to get sued," but catching himself just before the word sued slipped out.
He said, "We also don't want you to and I swear to our Lord and Savior," he stopped himself from saying sue.
The interaction only deepened Jake's disillusionment, as it seemed that he wanted to confirm his worst fears about MrBeast's true priorities. I actually can't believe that someone such as MrBeast with such a large influence would say such a thing, especially to one of his employees. This opened up my eyes to MrBeast's culture of manipulation. There's a very interesting part in Dogpark's video, where he shares a Google Doc titled "How to Succeed in MrBeast's Production."
I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production, specifically on page 19.
One of the most shocking points in this document is the directive that no does not mean no.
No does not mean no. Already insane. When dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here.
The idea that if someone, such as a store manager, refuses to cooperate with the MrBeast team, they should keep pushing until they get what they want. This could involve trying to find another employee who is a fan, escalating the request up the chain of command, and even having MrBeast himself reach out on social media to apply some sort of pressure. This approach to getting what they want, regardless of the initial refusals, paints a picture of a company culture that values results over ethics, where boundaries are pushed and rules are bent to achieve the desired outcome. Another troubling allegation that was exposed in Dogpark's video is that MrBeast's team is not as environmentally conscious as they claim to be. In one of his videos, MrBeast promises that everything was cleaned up after a particular stunt, but according to Dogpark, this wasn't the case.
MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video he actually says,
"If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series."
He shared that even though MrBeast stated at the end of the video that the lake they used was thoroughly cleaned, in reality, there was still a lot of debris left behind. Dogpark even went as far as to contact the camp where the video was shot, and the camp's response, while diplomatic, didn't deny the claims, suggesting that there was indeed a mess left for others to clean up. This is particularly damaging because it contradicts the image that MrBeast tries to create as someone who is not only generous, but also responsible and considerate to the environment. If true, it suggests that his concern for the environment and the communities he interacts with may not be as genuine as it appears on camera. Lastly, the video briefly touches on allegations involving female contestants who participated in MrBeast's videos. These allegations include claims of sleep deprivation and inappropriate behavior from some of the crew members. While Dogpark didn't go into too much detail about these claims in the video, he hinted that more information would be coming in future releases. These claims, if new, could further tarnish MrBeast's reputation and raise questions about the safety and well-being of those who participate in his videos. As these allegations continue to pile up, the big question is how MrBeast will respond. So far, he has remained silent, possibly waiting for all the information to come out before addressing it. However, the longer he waits, the more damaging these allegations could potentially become, especially if they continue to go unanswered. Ignoring the situation and continuing to produce content as if nothing is happening could lead to further backlash and potentially permanently damage his brand. So for anyone who's interested in following this drama, make sure you watch Dogpark's videos as they are essential to watch. They provide a detailed and often disturbing look at what goes behind the scenes of YouTube's biggest channels. While MrBeast has built an empire on the premise of doing good things and helping others, these news stories suggest that there might be a much darker side to his success. The coming weeks and months will likely be crucial in determining the future of MrBeast's career and reputation. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what you guys think MrBeast will do next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.